Hey everybody, Mackenzie with Adventures with White Oak Legends here. Today, it's the beginning of March, and I got some free time, and we're going to go walk some properties for sheds. It's a little late. I've already found 2 sets, but hopefully this walk we'll find a few more, and I want you guys to come along. Alright everybody, I've been walking for about, 10-15 minutes down a tree line. Check this out. It's on top of this ridge and made a rub. And then if you come around to this side, hit it from below too. It's crazy what you find. This little guy. Maybe like 30-45 minutes in, and what's behind me is all stickers. So unfortunately you can see that there's really heavily trafficked behind me, but that's kind of a part about shed hunting, is you gotta go where you don't really want to go, but the deer have went anyways. So picked up my cameras, found a little deadhead. We're gonna keep going on this property. We'll catch back with you guys in a minute. I'm about an hour in, and after an hour of walking, I'm getting kind of cold. It's something like probably like 38 degrees right now here where I'm at in Southern Illinois. But this field behind me, all this is water. So what I did was I took my binoculars and I did my best guess of, if I can't see a shed in these binoculars, I'm probably not necessarily interested. It's not a target deer that we're gonna go after for next year. So that's just kind of the judgment that I've made so far. This field's flooded. It doesn't look like it's gonna get any better either. We have rain in the forecast coming for the end of this weekend, possibly snow even. So it's not necessarily ideal situation, but it is typical shed season for Southern Illinois. We get a lot of rain in the spring, so mud boots are definitely needed, and then the best judgment needed for a field like this. Another thing that I just add is I usually typically start with anywhere where the deer have paths already made, and I walk the paths first to see if, as they've walked down the path, if the antlers have hit edges of trees or something to knock the sheds off. So I usually try to walk over all of the paths first, and then also field edges. Typically it is known that deer like to shake their heads when they open up into an open field, and I found that to be true. The sheds that you've already seen from the previous episodes were similar to that. They were 5 to 10 yards right out of the field edge where the deer had come out of the wood line and shaked off, and when they shook off, the antlers fell off. So that's kind of the path that I'm kind of taking forward with the rest of this walk. And I'm gonna probably be fighting daylight as I round out this evening, but I just wanted to give you guys an update, and we'll continue on. And if I have anything else, I'll go ahead and splice in another video if I have anything else. So far at this point, the only thing that I found was that little deadhead, and that leaves me not empty-handed, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. This area is a travel grounds. We're near a major highway, and the deer are pretty much traveling back and forth. There's nothing really here currently to keep them on this property other than they're not pressured. There's not a lot of hunters in this area. So I'm not necessarily surprised with this walk, but follow along. I'll stay up to date with you guys. Thanks. out why I'm not seeing the deer activity that I thought I would see. Huge cat tractor on the adjacent property. So I'm just on our side of the tree line, and that's probably why I'm not seeing near as much deer traffic as normal. So we're gonna continue on, head back to the truck, and I'll update you guys at the end of this walk. Thanks. Alright, just walking back to the truck now. Sorry, I'm out of breath. It's getting colder and colder. So just checking one of our stands. Here's one of our ladder stands across the creek. That's another thing too, just to add here at the end, is anywhere you know where they're gonna cross a creek, jump a creek, or jump a barbed wire fence, that jar when they land sometimes knocks sheds off. So so far all I found was that one deadheaded. So not empty-handed, but not necessarily surprised either. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Lots of flooding, lots of water. When we come back, when the water recedes and stuff, we might have better luck. So we'll update you on that if we go out again. So thanks for joining us. Keep up with all of our events. We're getting ready to get t-shirts in, and stickers and t-shirts are already available on pre-order online. We dropped our website this week, so if you want to order a t-shirt and get your color, either sand or green, be sure to hop online, and I'll be anywhere in town near us, or I'll ship it directly to you. Thanks, guys. Hey everybody, finish with shed hunting for the day, but right above me on this brim as I came back, maybe you can see him moving, there's about 10 to 12 deer that are running along that ridge line headed toward those trees. This is kind of part of shed hunting. You kind of see once a deer herd back up after rut, when you're coming home from your 9 to 5, you'll see deer in herds, and that's the best opportunity to figure out and ask. There's like Onyx Hunt is what I use. When you go to Onyx, you'll see property lines. You can get that person's address. You can, Facebook search them. You can go knock on doors. This is the same thing that the Seek One guys use. That's just kind of the method that they use to try to see if they can get permission to walk properties and see how the deer travel. I know that typically, you got that 3 to 5 mile radius of deer travel, and this is a really good opportunity when you see them in herds like that up beyond me. There's still 3 standing in the field. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on camera. I can't really zoom in. But this is a good opportunity to get permission to shed hunt those fields. Shed hunting, you're not carrying a firearm or a bow, so that's just another opportunity to scope out the land, see how the deer travel. And usually if you follow the path of leave no rock unturned, you gain trust with that property owner. And next bow season, when October runs around in Illinois, you ask, hey, I shed hunted your property at the end of the season or at the beginning of the year, will you let me bow hunt? That's kind of a start of that build of trust. And of course, with ID&R, they've done lots of back management of, if you go on ID&R, there's a website, there's a form on the website that you can fill out from ID&R, and it basically just signs your rights away. Like if you get injured on somebody else's property, they're not liable. And that's also another thing to go to door with. That gives them that extra security that you're not gonna, if you get injured in your deer stand on their property, that nothing can happen to them. And that gives you that open gateway to hunt some other private properties other than public land. Now, me as a female, I know that I have ran into this more than one time, that people will say, well, there's lots of public hunting in our area. Yeah, there is public hunting in our area in Illinois, but as a female, I don't feel necessarily secure about
showing up at dark, at daybreak, and, you know, getting my bow out or getting my tree stand out and walk across public land. So that's just my suggestion. As far as female hunters, you still have to be kind of safe and cautious about that. So that's kind of the path that I've taken as a female bow hunter in Southern Illinois. I know that, you know, men can gun hunt and bow hunt as well. So that's just the path that I have taken as I've tried to sometimes more cautious. Like, hey, I'm just a bow hunter. I do not gun hunt, and I would like to hunt your property. Sometimes you're more apt to get that gain of trust, but it starts with shed hunting. If you shed hunt early and you don't damage their property or leave trash around, you gain that trust. So that's just a key. I'll wrap up this whenever I'm back at the house. I'll show you the rest of the sheds that I found for the year, and we'll kind of close this out and we'll transition into fishing. So hope you guys stick around. Thanks.